Kasian komo bibia send enyumre so modem ofidie ato Aquento4 radio. Ebredu sense me koso mema say diapopo anu ayato ne din trending news no. And enyumre ye sinkonwa e ofidie ma say ne yede bi esomo. Enen sema yede eba no edoso pa eye na de edimu akotene ebi ene say Ghana yen total case our COVID-19 no apeja kwa kodru 61,489 na eno Prof Andrews wade ato edwa se ohwe hydrogen peroxide chese ebo ne homodin ye papa eku COVID-19
hydrogen peroxide inactivates. In other words, it destroys the coronaviruses. Where in the middle is respiratory syndrome or the first SARS, all these new viruses. And then the literature also says that the hydrogen peroxide inactivates also influenza virus and all.
Upon Kroma, a information minister designate. What they are to just said a normal AC corner COVID-19 sheno ye ni swa any lockdown. Abaying any free in plans move.
Of 2020, if you recall, was a precautionary lockdown to give us an opportunity to study the dynamics of the virus. You recall, it had nothing to do with the number of cases at the time, and we made that point over and over again. Because if it was about the number of cases, then of course there will be a strong argument to make that then when the cases go up, then you have to lock down some more.
Sanso and free and rebano and Ghana yenyina ashase a free tuntum yenyina and say your man penny dada when your baby called Jerry John Rollins na otrimu ene ye de si wonoma ye de ye na yie na MPs ahodo edi nkomo ede afa ayiyo yi eho.
Anytime you are able to be under coming within the lunch and you create your course will not anything that could be account there. But we don't spend it like that from our time. And I guess I'm the age and I can number that in the day after before the book. A permanent war, I'm a normal community, my arena, and I am in the area, I'm a creator. For me, it won't change much. But I know it is a call for us to do.
Any out MPs no bia ye no mudin komo efa say ukopiem ewo mrahye bedwafi a wamo enyo mu nyina na ewo honom ne nyina ne say COVID-19 hyehyɛ no say ehu behia say yetete wo mo nti binom wo office e na wo de eba meeting na nhia mu no ebi na ye MPs no bi din komo a wo de eto edwane ye de mu nkyeremu ebebre mo sanso na Ghana Medical Association wo de communicate aba wo mo ekyeremu say ehu behia say aban the restrictions no esa ebebie mo hyam kena na COVID-19 yentumedie no yedi so anyesa say de yen health centers out on the health systems say yes stretching up ya enche ebe collapse.
They are asking that the government as a matter of urgency should try and reimpose some restrictions on mass gatherings. We are also asking that the people should be discouraged from going publicly to join the
and some way in Afro Pin and enumerate yes in Konya of Fidie so am some for red don comedy ebabe sumo ewo and enumerate trending news no emu papa smiling akeka no mesi ania yatena se ayade babe sumo channel our modernghana.com Zeno Radio Sanso and a tuning www.aquento4radio.com Sanso and a Facebook Aquento4 radio/TV search yen na like comment na fe share na for front so answer intimate can be YouTube Aquento4 TV. Afei yena nyumre nsem no emu enchemu enie COVID-19 the second phase wavy kwa ne se eko na chese say Ghana yen case no the ababedro ene say yegina 61,489 na 61,489 ye total case ya register no o mem ha say no recovery no 57,597 wana omo every mono 367 enipa ahasa ediosia enson ena chese omo timi every ma enye asem keto akra yeka ne say na day case Ghana Health Service omo ye update ababeka ho no 695 na active case no ejina 3,525 abusumi mu etimi apagya achese enya asem keto akra ewo eho eno ne ensem achese yedi ho abobo ewo COVID-19 enhyehyeye no emu na eno ena achese enya asem keto akra ene day Ghana Medical Association wamodi ababe tujwa se eho benya se Ghana ban wobehye restriction mu kena na afe ya enforce na yenjumedie no etimi akontom de krata aba abonte a wamosre aban sa dabraka restriction no ewo se yehye na ejina.
We are asking that the government as a matter of urgency should try and reimpose some restrictions on mass gatherings. We are also asking that the people should be discouraged from going publicly to join the final funeral rites of our late former president. As many that can join online, TV, social media handles, we think that should be encouraged, and very few people, it should be restricted to very few people instead of opening up for everybody, as we call for a ban on other social gatherings. And then we are letting Ghanaians also know that they need once more, and this has been a consistent feature of our press statement, to take their safety and health into their own hands. There's so much government can do, but much of it depends on us as individuals to be conscious of the presence of this virus and this pandemic in our environment and be each other's keeper and try to make sure that we obey the protocols on our own so that together we can be safe as a people. Okay.
Yei Dr. Titus Bayo wano ena oye Deputy General Secretary di Ghana Medical Association nenka ena yeti ye na nya nonko ochiremu se ye de ban to social gathering ahodo eso na chese restriction badia ene ye yenhwe ne hu se Ghana yen health system no se dey stretching ho chim ye papa enye asem keto akra ne pese yen health system no ejina dia ene COVID-19 protocols no ye ni so.
If we are doing exactly daily updates and we're getting minute by minute when the cases are coming in, this is a region that we'll probably be working in. So that's why we use the word about. It's not an exact figure. Okay. But if you look at it, just follow the trend on the Ghana Health Service website and you'll know that today alone, the updates have been done twice. We must know where we are beginning from. We have a fragile health system. The very sophisticated, robust health systems are collapsing under COVID. And for the kind of health system that we have in Ghana and in the developing world, we know that as it is now, our system is being stretched. And I'll just give you a little picture. When this thing started, we had made a call much earlier in March that if we do not take care, this will collapse our healthcare system. One, as it stands today in Accra, people are struggling to get hospital space with COVID. People who should be in hospital are being managed at home.
Eno Dr. Bayo nenka ena yete ye ewo ehono na osanso editu dwa se amafo timodin papa na yare yi eba yi ohwe ensema anase adwatonde amafo ede ababegu womo aya ana womo atutuma na cheze hu enhia kra hu enhia na Ghana fo womo entete so na yenyina yenya bi na yento na yemfa ensa yenho yare ewo eho ena ode ato edwa se eho behia se Ghana yen health system no so yebedi so a ene a binary restriction no ewo se yenyina yetimi ediso na afen so private workers anase womo sanitizers no womo hwe no womo entity so na se demands no ekosra na nkyere se product no ewo se ututum
on this COVID, they should review them quickly. Secondly, we also think that when there is a mass response, when I mean a mass response, if there are restrictions like we have suggested in our release, and people know they can no longer have their funerals the way they want to have them, they can no longer have their weddings the way they want to have them. People know there is one to live a lifestyle new normal. As it is now, with most of these restrictions lifted, people are of the impression that COVID is not there, and it's difficult reconciling the communication. So we think that if some of these restrictions are reimposed, then people will realize that yes, this is what we are dealing with. And then the enforcement, we should see people being turned away from the city centers, being stopped on the road and made to go back home when they are not in their masks, or where punitive measures can be applied. That is the only way we can save our Ghana health service. We need to save our health system. We cannot overwhelm the system and collapse it. Then we will have nothing to fall on. So everybody must play a role in helping us, and this means enforcement of the law. Face masks that were 35 cities, 25 cities just a week ago, with the second rise in the COVID, are already going up to 15 cities per pack, which is not real. If we are encouraging people to use these PPEs, then we encourage those to bring them in. Nothing has really changed. They should not change their prices. Increase in demand should not just mean an increase in price. And we also say a lot of health workers are getting infected. At our last count, over 350 doctors have been infected since the beginning of this COVID. And that means that we should have adequate supplies of PPEs for doctors and other healthcare workers to use in the line of their duty.
Dr. Bayo, one and Deputy General Secretary the Ghana Medical Association, Nenka Ena Yeti, now Kojo upon Croman so they are two just said the normal air corner, a buying any lockdown, some infirm, so or more air consider, say a normal a court to say the equia any lockdown, a bit to me, Abba.
Of 2020, if you recall, was a precautionary lockdown to give us an opportunity to study the dynamics of the virus. You recall, it had nothing to do with the number of cases at the time, and we made that point over and over again. Because if it was about the number of cases, then of course there will be a strong argument to make that then when the cases go up, then you have to lock down some more. That lockdown was a precautionary lockdown to enable us to understand the dynamics of the virus and therefore see how we would respond to it. That's how come we knew our positivity rate, our baseline positivity rate at the time. That's how come we understood, for example, the percentages of people who were falling sick and therefore decide on isolation centers, profiling of people. Some could be treated at home, etc. So it's not about the numbers specifically. But yes, numbers do play a part at some point in time, and that's why we are making that strong argument that if you look at the trend of the numbers today, and if you look at the characteristics of this third rise, and the fact that still a lot of people are not doing what they have to do to help us bring it down, we are heading for some more restrictions if this trend continues.
And some information minister designate Kojo upon Kroma, one also edit to Jawa, Ghana Health Service, and Ministry of Information Asia and some trefa, one more ebo one amaniefa, the latest COVID-19 hono, any yede, be asomono, na openi bi and so abba, abonten the abetu just say, Oshe and Oma yede eye mafosha. Yenina yenimno ye hydrogen peroxide no wase osha sa enome etimi eboa ema COVID-19 no amanfo entimi enye bintiga aban ema omani mra ho pa na yenhwe efise last year no womo etimi dibidi djuma woma no omo use hydrogen peroxide no eya de se baby omo ye adjuma no nipa no bi enya COVID-19 no womo nso entimi enye binti yam ye ni enko ho pa na hydrogen peroxide no yensa entimi kanefa eni adjuma opani okasai ni modu ye pa enye asemketo akra kane no na okopie mu ewo University of Ghana Health Center hono wono enana oye former provoke yera Reverend Emeritus Professor Andrews said aite wono enodesa ensemi etu edwayentie ne nchiremu
but show that hydrogen peroxide inactivates. In other words, it destroys the coronaviruses.
Okay.
Whether in the middle is respiratory syndrome or the first SARS or this new virus. And then the literature also says that the hydrogen peroxide inactivates also influenza virus and all other respiratory viruses. That is significant. And if anyone doesn't want to believe anything, then believe what the literature has said. Because that's literature survey. to convince yourself that what you are doing is scientifically proven.
Okay.
You understand that? That is why I wanted you to listen to me and your audience as well. Then you can follow exactly what I'm saying. So literature, the science that has been done clearly shows that coronaviruses are inactivated by hydrogen peroxide. That is number one. The hand sanitizer that is used contains alcohol and then 3% hydrogen peroxide as well as glycerin. And this is the WHO approved formula. So what we rub on our hands and what we use to clean our tables and so on contains 3% hydrogen peroxide. That in itself is part of the science. And it tells you that hydrogen peroxide is critical in dealing with this virus. Now, the third reason why people should believe what we are saying is from the observation. That is why I said that based on the science, we ourselves, because when you are doing observational research, quite often it's like, it should start with you. So you do the experiment at the very time that the patient died. So I said, well, how long have you been using hydrogen peroxide? And that was introduced to her by her husband, middle of June. Then she, I found out from the director, and the director, using peroxide have been protected. So just from the observation, aside from the many that we have shared, the concentration of hydrogen peroxide and how to use it with some of whom we followed and who are saying that they've not had the disease. This one wakes us up. Even as researchers, we've done a paper, a protocol for more formal studies. But to bring that also up, because it is proven that hydrogen peroxide is effective. Hydrogen peroxide is used as a mouthwash, for oral hygiene.
Yay, Professor Emeritus Andrew Set Aite. And I attend and can ewo and a day a friend read Banagana Manina Niguasia Fanina de Suonum Kai Kanema Penny, His Excellency John Jeremiah Rollins, Wabra Ujai Ho Echo, now Chimu and I ye Janet Chikra. Na eno Oma Wamo enim day, Wamo Ababonten Ababe Casa, na Enkasa Yemuno, and MP Snubi Echo Wamo Adrian Panda, MP Yura. Ahmed Ibrahim wadi adanse afa JJ Lawrence
Ghana and the first president of the Fourth Republic of Ghana. There are two. Kwame Nkrumah and Jerry Rawlings are outstanding. Omampeni bien wo a on records no obitime achieve. Ebi na ye biare but obitime wa jitun. But when you study them, to me pound sentence Rawlings and Japade ni and Kwame Nkrumah Japade ni. They are outstanding. Can you say that of any other president in this country? No. Rawlings na bosi afọ be na American administration. Kwame Nkrumah na bosi afọ be. Rawlings ni abawen. Kwame Nkrumah ni abawen. They are two outstanding presidents, and Ghanaians must accept it as such. Yen cherish our own. So uko South Africa, Kenya, esi Jomo Kenyatta wini. Uko South Africa, Oliver Tambo geni. Uko ha, but ubaha, we demonize our earlier heroes, and that is why we are where we are.
And your uncle Frederick Ahenkra, one also Eddie Adanse afa JJ Lawrence
No, as a district, there is no single community in Ghana enough for electricity anymore. No, I usually not yet say anything. Yes, I also know a drew buna and soon berry. My papa Rollins are now on 2 and then Ghana, you need cry over and Kanya Edisu. Your whole area and can move forward dominating what Bahakis. Now, first, you say, or no year Ramadan fasting, now you actually Ghana, or move a break here. Maybe I need ice block, and you need free. Cote d'Ivoire, Colombia, and you bush your buntuku. What I need a coffee ice block, Ediba. Now, if a panel come before them, actually a corner beer or mobile breaking. At least there's so many answers here, and you know, on the agriculture. Now, maybe no coffee, no diaba.
Na enye nonko ene day ensomra shebedwe fie okopie mu onoma COVID-19 nti womo ache womu ebinom ewo chamber honom ene bi nsonom ewo womo offices ene womo edi djuma na se ne ye bra edi kan no ye ne MPs no bi edi nkomo ma womo de womo experience eto eja.
Anytime you are able to be American or gain the contact and you create your course on that, and it's not going to make it back on there.
For us to do heavy research work before we commence it, it's unfortunate. Chamber needs also come at least we are any other members in the people. But say, Yari Corona na Abesa Idiama P. Combined public reaction
come as a Biati Homa, but a possible so it's the same man without necessarily coming together to sit at one place. And it will be challenging. But Majidi said, we have seen a COVID, not a banner. It will be in the best interest of parliamentarians Nankasa and in the best interest of the nation. Na young Kofa Uyinidian Bregan.
The only thing everything when you say standing on your feet in the floor and present your now physically. But I believe that the leadership are in the now and then new first ones opportunity to be in the chamber more because yada for me chamber experience more saying or more or under that for oh sure. I did hear virtual media challenge even distraction the rate at which TTA parliamentary processes in TTA one shame a day kakra.
Kofi Adams ena yete ne ewo ehono Akwantufoɔ radio trending news ena guso a wo enjoy no. Tanko yechi na yenhwe Jerry John Rawlings ni wo no ayede eto mo anim no embi emfa ensom emo na opani a ye akwankwaja som enrada ewo Holy Spirit Catholic Church ewo enkran no na odina mu bie wo ye sofopani e de ma Roma asafo ewo Cape Coast na eno ena yewra Archbishop Palmer Buckle wade ato edwa a wochirem say ohwe Jerry John Rawlings ni super obeda na dia Yesu bampa no politicians aka asase so nyina yenhwe na yensua no.
We are here this afternoon and in this place of worship is to remember Jerry John Rawlings and to be glad for his life. We are gathered here to thank God for the gift of Jerry John Rawlings, a gift that only God can help us appreciate its worth and its gravity. We are here to join his dear wife to thank God for the gift of a husband of nearly 6 decades. We are here to join you, his beloved children, to thank God for the gift of a dear father. We are here to join the Agotui and the allied families, the Anglo traditional leaders and relatives, to say thank you to God for the gift of your son.
Archbishop Palmer Buckle ena yete nka ewo ehono na ochwetwemu na Ghana ban de betu dwa se nipa no bi hono obetimi na omo aye adwuma na eno ena obo won regional minister 16 edin a wochirim se wonyi won deputy na eno ena okopiem e Volta regional yera Achibab lecture wono ena woye regional minister yabo ne din e Volta region na so manfo ho chirim se wamo empreso ye womadwene some the demonstration be hye so nyame yad mo china na so Ghana police service e dey atudwa se senior COVID-19 etetre kono enya de so mbe mo kwan ama demonstration no etimi akoso na yene Ghana phobia omo Volta region edi enkomo ena omo echiremu se Ghana phone bi hadwene ye papa senior COVID-19 etu asite na afin so abaya yekoto ye ehon santa kwapiemu ewo Supreme Court a yedi ehon asem no Ghana phobia aye MPP for enso de omano esi ministers aye bobo omudin sabotage ade hadwene sei ena omo so kire omadwene.
The time that the president himself is facing a challenge at the Supreme Court. If they plan to do something like demonstration, is it at this time that they're supposed to do those kind of things? Is the reason
that you have that power to exercise it as such. Going forward, I want to caution my fellow members of this party that we, those who love this party from the grassroots, we will not allow them to tear this party alive. We will never. For that reason, we stood this morning, this fateful Sunday, to pray for them that they should come down, they should receive. Moreover, we are in a COVID era. and the president has given caution that no gathering should go on.
What is happening in the region is that there are some greedy ones who Dr. Archibald Lecha brought on board. If you can remember, we were having elections and some of us were not allowed to contest. They disqualified some of candidates in this region, if you can remember. And then even the case went to court. And then the court placed injunction, but they went ahead to do these elections. And these are the people that Archibald Lecha supported against we, the people who started this party. But then, we take it calm. And we didn't quarrel with anybody. We are so peaceful with each and every one of them. And today, they are standing against the president nomination. Some of us will not support them. We disagree with all that they have, that they are telling people. And we want them to be accountable to the party and not to the regional minister.
Na Simon Osaimen Sanso Asante Mantema say osofo ayabo ne din wono so de atudwa se afei ekwan ade a nani wo ho ye papa sanso na overheads ahodo obedi ho djuma wo Ghana asei ana Asante Mantema say na wahwe se factories ahodo nso ye behwe se ye besisi
ebo se memeye Asante Mantema so afo 15 years ni dunu so no no na sebe gadi mi tun mu ami bai no na me di nyema bi si mane so to se mi timi ye na ebo Asante Mantema na de ne di kan no ya kwan na abitia pansam no na je to so mi no bambo se den ha oni education na ori akwan no yenye nduru be bia ya pekdia nso akola nim kakra na nyame ya don na sebe garo ajimi tumwa e wa richi mu se ebe juma ama ya shafia data yewini na ya di abeka ho that is so I'm interchange fantasy runabout interchange if you are to interchange I'm going interchange I you can see that and the runabout see that so I'll see timbo ya ho na ye kura no we see there you find you kura TV na fine but if you na ye ye mo mi lo ya sida ebemanyame na ya ka kwaina no ye wonyama bia enye road that transport na sea da ano antiman dem din ne so ko na ye wa ne mo ni e fo sabi ship na so e mo mampeni da ko fo de papa bi ba ya no ba be inland port e be se bi visa one crack inland port la one crack inland port maka since 2017 no about saying one crack inland port bi ya in a railway so say the railway line if it tema seaport hub and I by the seaport hub and the link one crack inland port.
Simon Osaimen say your software abonidin was Asante Mantema say nenka ena yete ye no na enrada na International Day of Education International Day of Education na eno ena African Education Watch Kofi Asare da won ano ewo Ghana say no ode ato edwa say COVID-19 aba abehayen education system no pa eya ochirim sen krabe se 3.5 de womo etimi ha omo ye papa ne nyina ne se ye bie school tu mu ana ye ma kwan be sa bosumi du no nkra ne bi wo hono ma womo akọ wo ebinom so enyenyema no nti ye bie school yi womo entimi go back to school na ochirim se e wo se aban bo no homoden se ne be ya COVID-19 emensa to school mu bi mu no na afei ye de PPs ahodo no ebeko schools mu na afei so ba bia class no esua no ye create large classes ede ema enkra no se ne be ya wo mo so betimi akọ won suku na eno na ochirim so gidi se aban etusa anamon ya ene ebeboa ema enkra no so etimi enye school ho emfaso na eno na amafo eka se ne COVID-19 yesi kosrai medito manim kasebono ahyase no na eno na Dr. Bernard Okoboy kaneno na woye director opening country for abedi echire ede ema Ghana Health Service mechireze no oye deputy minister oswafo abedi echire ede ema Ghana yen Ghana yen health ministry no na no eno de ato edwa se aban enim de ntia wasabie school etum na one wona a wo mo eka se yen to school mu no ono mo enya adwene.
Start go to school 98% their classrooms are not air conditioned and closed. Its air comes in and goes out. Immediately you are in an environment where it is open ventilation. The risk drops significantly. When the particles can accumulate, it is diffused. But in Europe, school for kids, even in winter or summer, most of the time is enclosed. You enter the train, is enclosed. Gym is enclosed. Markets, supermarkets are enclosed. But when you come to Africa, our setting is open. So for kids, I think one key reason why the president allowed the kids to go back to school, one is that most of our classrooms are the open type. The second one is that we have an idea as to what caused the spike this recent one. The first one has to do with the social activities that we engaged in, and the second one has to do with a mixing of people who came into our population as in travel.
Yenina Sonia Fen and your trending news nina NC ewo Aquantufo radio so meeting de don ko papa smile na keka na o see eni wote yenka ewo modernghana.com Zeno Radio sanso na tune in www.aquantuforadio.com eho enso wote yenka Facebook Aquantufo radio/tv and afen so YouTube Aquantufo TV nyame admo china de akam bia no yebe ba be somo ewo FDA so yema munyina good night. Asra kasian komo bibia sende nyumre so mo de mo fidi ato Aquantufo radio e bread sense me koso mema say dia boabo no ayato ne din trending news no ene nyumre ye sinkonwa ofidie so na ye de bi somo ene nsema ye de bana de di makotene ebi ene se COVID-19 da so a ene yete na nsema yete no ene se uko schools ma ahodo ma said the class no esitie enti aye challenge pa big problem e de ama achese for any school for ne bi na education regional education minister wa Santimantema say na afin so Asantimantema say yen so afo ayasa boni din biem so ontras na mfie na yi wonti juma ema Asantiman no ono so akwa apro e de ensem atodwa efa sa challenges no.
So we will sit down to compare all the needed infrastructure and the basic things, and then we will write a letter to the Minister of Education for solution.
Sa enso ena yebeko ensem fufuro mu ye konsem fufuro mu enso a abanbabin a waye Speaker of Parliament or the abetujo say krata bantre breno say ministers ayabobo modin no yenhwe ne invite wo mo no ne nsa aka enkrata no.
Ministry and name 1 National Security Albert Kandapa 2 Finance Ken Ofuri Ata 3 Trade and Industry Alan Chairman 4 Defense Honorable Dominic Little MP 5 Interior
Sanso ena Nadmo boss ede ato eja wo kirem se eja hyehye e wo se akuafo ene adrobafo ene obi biara oyusu eja yeye ahweye efrise se de Nadmo sika ena futuom na se atorenchem bi ba wo mo ede etwetwa ede amamo de be ya ne se mo ye ho ban enfri ja hyehye ho
no na ba out am ye nyina ye hu se afi eja hyehye na pasie no abantem eno che se eja hyehye beba pa ne ade nti kakra meka kire Ghana fo nyina se ye ma obi anhwa no wiye omo be ye afuo obi anhwa se mo nko hye ba bi ma ne nko fa problem ma
sa enso ena amanipa no mpi titun semtrefo ede wo ano ato ministers a yabobo wo edin no emu
back on the front burner. That didn't happen. Generally, if even there was a debt at the ministry whose responsibility, or not even a debt, if we had revived like we actually sought to do, the Railway Development Authority to do the work that the ministry itself was supposed to do, I am very convinced that these things that have been achieved today could still be achieved with the Development Authority running most of the projects that is currently running.
COVID-19 also say cry and sa aka every upper west region. HM say oko St. Francis de Xavier oko won suku mo no ma na se sensema SCA NSS school for nkora no mienu and a COVID-19 wo monsa aka bi enu ada trending news no mu yere to mo anim na se say dia betoja NSS nkora 34 de ya quarantine wo mo.
2 students have been a member in the family who tested positive, and they tested him and he was negative. And when he came, the science then came up and he was confirmed.
In some way, any afropi and then you may yes in Konya 24 radio so I the best some said trending news and you may meeting a day Edward Donko Papa Smiley na keka no mesiania moti enka ewo enframem echano ho ewo modernghana.com Zeno Radio sanso and a tuning www.aquantuforradio.com sanso and a Facebook yechegu honom hwehwe search ye na type na afin so like na fa message so eka ho na share enso eka ho ebi YouTube nso eye Aquantufor TV. Afei ya mama akwaba na yeshe ensem no ase ayenhya ase enfemfree COVID-19 ensensem mu yare gusuani e kondendendi anye asamketo akra na enedai enkra yate every upper west region echiremu se ye bia school yitu school for nkora besemienu ukopiemu ewo upper west regional school a ni din ede St. Francis Xavier Minor Seminary enkra omo ho no enipa mienu de me na okasai no wo mo attest positive ewo COVID-19 ma enye asamketo akra eno entonchen enso enkra no be se aduasa and 34 students wo mo so ye do mo akwakogu ba bia ye hwe se sign a wo mo issue no enye COVID-19 eno eye ensema school for no ede abeto edwa yenso yenye bia yede emamo na omo abot akraba akọ test a eka wo mo motimi abo mo test na wono so o show negative sign into ko upper west regional mesremeka case a wo mo ekuta no sesiye no eye 161 cases and sesiye ameka say no woman so ensa aka wo honom na eno ena chesensema abetodwa NSA sese COVID-19 no enti amanfo eni protocols no so kra chesenya asamketo akra na Francis Yewra ye freno father Pamphilio Tengan wono ena weye rector ede Emma St. Francis Xavier Minor Seminary one ensemtrefo abonkomo ede ensem no sede sitie ewo suku mu omechre situation fa COVID-19 mu no wachese mu ede amayen.
2 students have been confirmed with COVID-19 in the seminary. One of them complained about ill health and was sent down on Monday in the night. He was given treatment and returned to the school with the priest that sent him down. But then in the evening of Tuesday, a team came from the Municipal Health Directorate that they had tested our student and he was positive. And they were coming to send him to the isolation center. They didn't want to bring in the ambulance here to frighten the other students. So we had to get it out of campus to join the ambulance and go to the isolation center. That was on Tuesday night. Yesterday in the morning, another student reported to the clinic and with symptoms. So I drove him down to the municipal hospital. He he was tested and he was confirmed positive also. So the two are now at the regional isolation center. But is from Burkina, but he has relatives in Hamele and Tamale. So from Hamele, he traveled to Tamale before coming back. And he already had a member in the family who tested positive. And they tested him and he was negative. And he was confirmed. The regional health director for public health, he was here with our nurses and the other team members, plus the Catholic executive health director. We spoke to the students on the need of isolation, and right now they are in their dormitories. They are not mixing with the students.
Yay, Mr. Meka, we opening concert for Wada St. Francis Xavier Minor Seminary, and rector at the MS School, no Father Damfilio Tengan. Mr. Meka Tengan ena yetene nka ewo ehonom na regional health director yera Dr. Richard na eno ena Dr. Richard Wuda enso ede ato edwa a wo chiremu sede ensem no esitie.
Cases do not appear to be epidemiologically linked. They may have contracted the virus from different environments, and so we are looking at that possibility. We would be establishing that in the coming days. But to break the transmission chain, we have identified the quarantine center as spacious enough that we'll be able to accommodate all those who came into contact with the two positive cases. The contact listing has been done, and a number of the students have been identified, and since yesterday they have been in quarantine.
Yei ensem no bia eno so etwagu ewo COVID-19 ensensem no emu ene enyumre yi NCC for so the krata abetujo ase chop bars asanso ene schools and is other social gathering centers nyina anim se womo enhwe ama womo ebie won stores ana se womo centers na say COVID-19 protocols no omanfo ebedi so.
We've mentioned here so that they can all ensure that we observe the protocols. You go to several institutions and you realize that some of the things are there, but they are not enforcing them. So we are asking that just as we all were doing at the peak of the pandemic, we must continue to do that so that we can reduce the number of cases and the number of deaths. COVID era in June, we reached out to the presidency and we were giving resources. The COVID-19 National Trust Fund also gave us some resources. So we were able to reach out to the citizens of Ghana with a message on the need for them to adhere to the protocols. And we all took it upon ourselves, and every Ghanaian did. But it appears that getting to the end of the year, and with the easing of the restrictions, Ghanaians also gave a bigger to observing the protocols. That is why we are where we are now. So we are asking that everybody, every Ghanaian, we must cherish our safety and ensure that we observe the protocol. So we have the resources, and our regional and district officers are also doing their bit with respect to sensitization. Hospitals, visiting people that we can visit now, but with the cases rising, most of our activities, we are looking at public announcements. Okay. We even have our jingles and other things playing in the selected media houses. And we're also reaching out to schools and artisans and the faith-based organizations. So when we go, what exactly we tell them that COVID is real? Those who think that COVID is not real, they should know that it is real, because the whole world, we cannot all not lie that nothing exists, and we are all training that something exists. COVID is real, and people are getting infected, people are dying. And we are telling people to wear the mask when they are stepping out of home. They should sanitize their hands regularly. They should not mask up. Yesterday, I was in Mokala and I was talking to a gentleman who has just put the mask under his chin. So I was telling him that we should weigh the cost-benefit analysis of having to contract the disease and how we manage the disease to wearing and not contract the disease. And he said, he's up this morning, he doesn't even know, he doesn't have money to even feed. And how is he going to buy 1 cedi worth of masks to wear? So I explained things to him, and then he understood me. So when we go on the ground, that is what we tell people, that the disease is real, we need to protect ourselves. We also add the need for people to also exercise regularly and also eat immune-boosting foods. And that will encourage people. I must also say that now, a lot of people are adhering now, but we are not getting the whole population doing that. So we will continue to urge Ghanaians to ensure that we observe the protocols, particularly the wearing of masks and not masking up, and also social distancing at wherever we converge, so that we will not contract the disease. Because you may not know, you can contract the disease anywhere from anyone, whether it's your family member, your work colleague, your church member, even in public transport. That is why we need to protect ourselves so that we will not contract the disease and we also protect others.
Ye mame wakasa de ma NCC Mame Joyce Afutu Communication Director Edema NCC no desa Afutu no abakrata tentente om de aba omo HM se Ghana fo nyina se yema yenkwa ehun hia yen na COVID-19 protocols no ye nyina ye ni so se ne be yenkofa asembia emreye na ena eye eda etwato ewo first week emu ede ema ye na desuafo a ye bi school to mu na no edwada no na ye komontre so ne school fo no bi edi enkomo etisi ma 9 a ewo Amansia Central ene school fo no student leaders no ebi etimi edi enkomo my 9 JHS eho asem ena meken na ensema nkra no bi ekaye ene protocols ene normal ye betimi enya ana yede edi protocols no eso no wamo hdm mu kire
social distance and nose mask. We used to save ourselves. Eboama yede boa yede ebo ye ho ban fi coronavirus. Wash your hands anytime. Wear your nose masks and use your sanitizers.
Water. Your hands before you come to class. Use your hand sanitizer. Wear your nose masks. Either nose masks. Use hand sanitizer. Before you eat.
Use hand sanitizer and use your face mask.
Wearing nose mask, washing hands regularly, and using sanitizer.
Wash your hands frequently. Wear your nose mask. So avoid shaking of hands. Use sanitizers always.
Ye ensem no bi enkra no so edito yen enim na emu ensem a COVID-19 nsem na ena yeguso a yede ebi emamo no yewra Dr. Michael Owusu virologist ewo KCCR Asantemante Masei wono so ne yedi nkomo akirekire mu sane abo a ye friend coronavirus wasi adane ne su a wade eha amanfo and afi and every 2020 bano say na Dr. Michael Owusu so mu
coronavirus abo no ne ho chemikakra ya abo a uska sa wo shisha e se ne wo shisha pavement blocks utwi mo tintin blocks need to be stretched by 27 to about 30,000 and ye wo mni se ya na bi ho busumi bia block no ba ko timi yi ana ba kwa ba sha nan ito bi ho no ma blocks minu ana miensa etimi eyi frame prekope ama ebia kwa ma mesha na nan ito bi ho so abo na nka se mutimi cha ne isa join wo be fufu we nyina ye kwan a abo ne timi fa so se de be ya obetimi di nipa so nkunim we do for evolution of fitness it's abo no so wo mra nipa no ye bomo de se betimi si na no kwan no no so pe na kwa bi so etimi afa kwan a obetimi afa so a ono so betimi ebuetia ne nipa eye inti say November no ye nyina eti UK say UK for e dey carry record high numbers wo no East England ho baby ama mo hu say prekope aboa no blocks wo be edunu miensa de sa blocks ni nyina asefa ama aboa ne suban no ababadane aye dade fifo na block ne sesa ne mu hu ye ne se e ma aboa no nya ahoɔden sonko ebu ne fɛ no high fitness level nti enkan se bia so bi bɔwa na se nipa miɛnsa na otimi di yare ne mo a ɛyɛ foforɔ deɛ se nipa no bɔwa a nipa nsia pɛkopɛ ɔmo betumi anya nti na yɛ fɛ ne sɛ ɛma nipa ɛma aboa no yɛ highly transmissible etimi infect nipa mo ama ɛma nipa bebree etimi nya no pɛkopɛ na ne nim fa aboa ho ne sɛ normally no sɛ dane ne ho a ɛyɛ na etimi yɛ nneɛma enum na edi kan ne sɛ betumi asa nipa bebree pɛkopɛ the person is a year meeting Emma Yarenison's so ebi a so because of tea and also online so it makes a you had be a pampine at the United States of Africa. I'm a bad I had the foot for cramp like we are not a medical books in Quantum. It would work a blue quiet in this a one and no cool party necessary is a bonus to buy Swassa. And a year a 30 cramp for a bonnet to be done home to send there be a testing from the look of the song around. And you knew for a year who about UK for no Abuja number N501Y. And now, you now for a new Mudi Como, I will Gucci, and I hear what the University of Ghana for some my ATS. And when you buy I say UK for the South Africa for them, I hear N501Y. If you need the virus for no and that no sanitize and it's Nikumu in our preoccupation. Air social and also physical distancing. And in our holding in our ya. Ma foforo no kura na foforo ne dada nyina ma nya de obenya bi betimi ebio musu kunim amotimi bring ni nyina under control and only one good news I hear about this virus public health measures very the same the moment na ho de no ene ne one hwe na se wa so anu ntama one hwe na ajo ntem na se aba be ade
Yeye Dr. Michael Owusunenka ena yete no na yesi montre so ene regional minister so edi nkomo sanso na education director edi nkomo fa classrooms a womo enkwara no womo ho kire womo no na sei ene mpanifo imi no enso ene kasaye yewra osai Simon Osai Mensa and so education director.
Us, we need dedicated teachers and the children to be able to learn. They also need to create a very good working environment for the teachers and the children to teach and learn. There's a need for everybody to get involved. Government cannot do it alone. Individuals cannot do it alone. We need the support and cooperation of everybody.
We sit down and talk. This is not the last meeting. This is the beginning. At the end of the day, I'll meet with the regional director of Ghana Education Service, who has been very, very cooperative in all these things. And then we identify the progress together. I don't normally like you solving problems in bits. So we go and sit down to compare all the needed infrastructure in the basic schools, and then we will write a letter to Ministry of Education for submission.
Osai Simon Osai Mensane ena yeti ena list bese 446 names betojo say nanado danko ekufuado yedin a wode abetojo say parliament invite woman approve woman no monye ministers ewo offense osumie na memomu na ene day Ghana fo bi nso akere o madwene efa lista ebetojo an ho a utie krata ye de betojo bind be ya ye kenkan ya na kire se ministers na wo ewo aban no emu no se say de eso ate eno tie si montre so ene Ghana fo bi edi nkomo ema omo ekirekire mu senior si efa ensem no
2017 na do so do so ati saba 86 aye pa babu man adada fo na wan san fo wan manager menji ndi se o yi o modi because ejuma na do fo fa this is one penny expenses no abe fo skin and go to your Africa no e da ye papa ministry na ya titi so very good and ministers now omo ambodium it will be a lesson to them because central region for instance they lose more seats or intinu nyawaye na ye obia befa suade won omo yi omo de say onim de omo de ban omo enim de ina wo afa omo na omo kwatena so so say no no you say first one buy no a afa omo 126 no na otu say e do so tina ye we mbe be eduma omo ye if you want to so no de omo de obi dem say omo kra bi o 2 years ko time reshuffle na na de me ba no kra de me hu baby profia o da bojuru ha sara o si boy Ghana ha no wa ya de me djuma o de so ni bibia so ni sa wa te so de ye
na enye no konsɛmtwerɛfoɔ a ɛwɔ mɛma sɛ dodo na nso akyerɛ ɔmadwene afa ho na enua baako a ɔno nso ɛwɔ multimedia yɛwura Raymond ɔno nso ɛne ɛbɔ nkɔmɔ ɛkyerɛ mu priority ahodoɔ a ɛwɔ sɛ aban ɛde egu akwan mu na ɔhwɛ no dwumadie ɛtotɔ yie titiri ministries ahodoɔ a yɛamagye bi na afei nso yɛgu ebie no ɛno nso wɔde emu nsɛm ɛto yɛ n'anim.
The Railway Development Ministry did not achieve its result. So that is why it was not scrapped. But I'm arguing that it is because it did not achieve its result. That's why it should not exist in the first place. Because it doesn't make the point that it failed, so now it will perform its duty. If it failed in the last 4 years, what's the guarantee that given it another 4 years, it will actually achieve the result? Now, assuming it laid the background for proper development in the last 4 years, what is it with that we are going to do differently that's going to actually go into the next 4 years and make it do the things that we were hoping it would do? Largely, let me go a little bit back into some of the ministries you mentioned. The Special Development Initiative Ministry. You see, if we are measuring achievements merely by starting projects, and a minister coming to tell you that given the amount of money you have given me, this is the kind of dam you should expect. If we are, and let's go back, IPEP, the Integrated Poverty Eradication Program, was basically what we were supposed to implement. And that particular program, where all the big ticket things like one district, one factory, one village, one dam, 1 million per constituency, and 1 million per constituency was basically what we were supposed to do on the ground. And they have to put together all of these development authorities and spread them across the country to do that. I had interrogated some of the projects they had done as of the end of 2019 going into 2020, and it was abysmal. Now, we cannot, I don't know which other figures people are looking at today, or maybe an improvement happened with the budget of that particular ministry. So when you put these things together, nobody should convince you that it is not to be said by anybody that this was a successful ministry that delivered on this promise. We can go through the various things they said they would do right from the beginning and compare it. We can go through what has happened in Ododojo when it comes to specific projects and the ones that have been delivered. And we can crisscross the country and take constituency by constituency and ask yourself, the targeted programs, especially in sanitation and water provision, what has happened to them? And there is no success story to say in that one, except again that some magical thing happened in the year 2020 that changed all of the things they have done or promised in the year's time. Okay, let's take for example, are we being told today that in the year 2020, when we failed to give them what we were supposed to give them in 2017, 2018, and 2019, we piled up all the millions that, okay, the $4 or $3 million and gave it to them in the year 2020, as in the year that was supposed to be finishing all of the projects. We knew the budget for 2020. It didn't have specific constituencies getting 3 or 4 million for each of these. So if somebody sits back and tells me that, oh, it was a great success, I'm just wondering what kind of data and what kind of evidence they are using to support that claim. And that's why I'm saying that some ministry like that particular job could have been done by a desk in the office of the president as priority directly under the presidency, and it can still achieve the same results. Having to put up an office at the first they were at the Old Castle did not yield enough results, maybe because the person in charge of it herself was problematic, but also we have consistently shown that if you start up a ministry, even
nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ bi wɔ madwenkyerɛ ɛna yɛde ɛma mo no na ne da yi Speaker of Parliament right Speaker Aban Samana Bagpen ɔno nso ɛde n'ano tom sɛ list no ne nsa aka na nkyɛ vet no bɛhyehyɛ so.
Ministry and 1. National Security, Albert Kandapa. 2. Finance, Ken Ofuri Atta. 3. Trade and Industry, Alan Chairman. 4. Defense, Honorable Dominic Little, MP. 5. Interior, Honorable Ambodele, MP. 6. Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Sherry Ayopo Bochi. 7. Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Godfred Ghana. 8. Local government, decentralization, and rural development, Honorable Dan Bochi, MP. 9. Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Osechi Mensabusu, MP.
Yei edinu bia yera aban bagben enedai obobo so ede echre yen na opani ba kwa wono so onimde efa ye na manyo ensem eho wono so akasa ede afa ensema ekoso no eho na eno ena ochiremu se de enoma esi ekono ohwe se ministers a yakate ama namba no ababe ye tete yera Dr. Isaac Buakon a wo ye lecturer wo University of Education chirem se ebeboa ama yensika sem no etimi akates betimi asave yensika no papa every sem ministers na de omoje ana aketu e de ma wo no eso enti aban etwa so te se de wo kana ebeboa yen
military plan de so functions of administration they are now only to your French maybe or can say or come and say a son POSDCORD P planning program relating customer baby the thinking process and the administrative activity the ministry planning until the ministry is in charge of planning. No duplication of function. After so, commercial aviation is transport, air transport, rail transport, and road transport. We know transport. It is a capacity back one. No boy, na international you through a non so no. So we offer procurement. Ministry obia kanema. It is a woman that no duplication. The ministry the one cheap no akokuti be no wato ne na koma ministries no enti de bua na edumadi a ministries ni du no e na wo fa duplicate or kaku e na wo na say no resource no asset
na osanso ka bibi efa number no eho
to se ko esa so ko na di de won ne ko na so kunima if the Japanese to the victor go the spoils of the enemies into the spoil systems by so you call back for why the thing I buy you a deal what do you call for the some number so the woman Masha a 3 corner I then be super by more or in the call for a position now so almost and quite a cry 8 minutes in a day. Na penny oba bredi kan no o fa so for bebre a so for so on no komanche omoji akatua omoji adododie na omo twamfie na no mo konso a de bi konko Jessica kesie pa asho no kotokuru mu o ka fo ni abenkwan covid ene ne manyema bebre nti ama le ti pasem no enyina yi etu ko fa sa so for bebre no a na se o ma no wo hu no mobo Dona for kind of a shop on a dose would do. It's immediate. When you see any the amount for kind of maintenance and your water soup. We should be one swap. Constitution is a task for me. Don't do me every month to the few. Then not to the few into my apparatus. So we could use the water. Now, your passing bill be not enough. You I would do a machine until you know power or more. Everything you have. Enti mejiri se wele mu kan ho bi na mantani wate so ma apafom kakere yi
ye yera ono so enim de efa amanyosem eho Dr. Isaac Buakon ye tene kano And day and so majority leader the amount of say mensa bunso na eno eho enti and day minority for no eguso a womo eye press conference na press conference omo eye no Haruna Idrusu ene di won anim ekasa ye yenti ensem a wono so eka ye bie.
We are very positive and we think that the president's letter of 21st January 2021 submitting to Parliament list of his ministers for his new government deserves the urgent attention of the Appointments Committee. But noting what has been submitted to Parliament, it only reminds us in the minority group that President Nana Addo Dankwa, if he was to set up a 1D1F in recycling, he will be a very good entrepreneur in that enterprise. We just see recycled list, no new impetus, no new thinking, no new innovation. It reminds us of Ghana still living in 1997. The country has come very far, and ministers should not just be comfortable. I don't want to believe that President Nana Addo Dankwa does not have the courage and political will to reshuffle, because you all witnessed what happened in the last 4 years. He just couldn't do that. And even at an opportunity of change of government, he doesn't appear ready to do just that. So there's no new impetus, no new hope. And as I've said, we've just seen a recycled list. What struck us most as a group, even though we interrogate those matters at the Appointments Committee, is the ambiguous creation of a new Ministry of Public Enterprises. Why? Ministries themselves are public enterprises, and state-owned institutions are public enterprises. Not a while ago, he came to Parliament to pass a new legislation putting all those enterprises under a new legislation. One would have thought that he would have used the rendition of that law, Act 990, to create the new Ministry of Public Enterprises. Suffice it to add that we are not dissatisfied with the cut, but the cut will be better measured when we have the full list and full complement of his ministers. But we are ready to interrogate not just the CV, but the record of his appointees. What they must do clearly is to make sure that copies of handing over notes are made available to us as required by the Presidential Transition Act, Act 845. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Eni ayeti ye Edom Kuma ana NDC caucus one leader Haruna Idrusu ena yete nene ewo ha wotno so eche na adwene efa ministerial appointment ha yensa akan ena dai na nkosen komsa debate on motion Yura Mahama Yaraga edekopie mo parliament say wo mo ko first year wo tertiary institutions no enya de sen komo school fees wo mo efa won kan ka wo sen ka ban etuama wo mo no eno omo etu ede akwa akose next week ena sansem no so omo ebebobo ehun na sedebdi ka kan ye no na the Speaker of Parliament Yura Abanpapin wabo Yura Osaiche Mensa Bonsu se wono ena edom dodo no woye leader na chese majority leader sa ena etie ewo ehonom na student admissions no so school for no bi ana student leaders no ebin so atre womo adwene afa ho mechire wana na womo ehwesen enkombenya kwanya na kaban afa first years admission fees no nanso ankoba ne sa no said the school for no bi ehwesen nkasem no kanrampo ena nke declare ma obia eten ho ase a enka na nkebeboa
at risk of getting of having to defer their programs or having to repeat for one academic year because they've not been able to register this academic year. I mean, I think you know that before you can register for an academic year, you need to have made certain commitments as regards your fees.
leaders no bi a womo edi eskufoɔ no bi anim no ene ete womo enka na Eric Nana Ajiman NADMO coordinator wode ato edwa se obesre Ghana fo nyina ye soja yenhwe ye sede ewiemasi awo no akwa akofa oyene bia amre yen ose COVID-19 tin sikasemo ayeden eno nti ba NADMO womo offices a enoma enhyeda eni hosa enti seja hyehye nso sa beka ho a na kyese sesei de ebe hadwene pa to besre adroba forsa enso ena womo mu yusu eja womo nom cigarette ene womo soja edija dijuma ahodo akuafo nyina so mo eso eja womo hwe na ani nsemoni bia
to no number out ami nyina ya hu se afi ija hihye na pesie no abantem eno kyese ija hihye beba pa ne ade nti kakra meka kire Ghana fo nyina sese ye ma obi anhwa no yiye omo be ye afuo obi anhwa se mo nkohye ba bi ma ne nkofa problem ma ye fie mu obi o ha gas cylinder na leakage wo ho so la no wisu eno so betimi akwafa problem kese aba ena omo sidan omo ye containers ni ade yeso be electrification na wa certify electrician omo certificate a trust energy commission for training ama obetimi aye adwuma se de be ya onko boka hu na enipa nso enkofa mu enhwo mu kwa ana property eso okofa obia ne se okofa wire bia no de akohye ba bia obohu na ma wodan nti se de ade na hyase no ye nyina ya hwɛ se COVID-19 dio mu ne ewi a yare no problem kese se sande ijahihie san ba kan ho a ye nyina ye nya ho to
NADMO coordinator Eric Nana Ajiman ena yete nenka ewo ho no ye nyina so na enanyumre trending news no yemfa ne nyina ensi nyame ya adoma ochina de akam bia beba besomo ewo afidie yi so midin ede Donko Papa Smiley ena keka enomase ani ema mote yenka ewo www.akwentuforradio.com sanso ena Akwentufor Radio UK ewo modernghana.com Zeno Radio sanso na tune in mote yenka ewo Facebook ene YouTube ni nyina eye Akwentufor Radio UK Medin ede Donko asra kese nkoma yema mu nyina good night ochina nyame ya adoma monsa mombati yenka na otwimu ensema asie nyina ene ochina de nyina adom bidum ye na ye de beba besomo ewo afidie yi so medin ede Donko makramo
Inde mi obi aka onti ata me show de sumimu ye ai na sumimu ye ti den chefua na me mfi unse mambo for ata
mi di mi doi ama wi enti wo so fa wo di mami wada me ji mi me na me so wase mi di mi doi ama wi enti wo so fa wo di mami wada me ji mi me na me so wase mi sufreva ya demeso mi sufreva ya demeso mi bopru mo pie mi sufreva ya demeso mi sufreva ya demeso mi bopru mo pie ya demeso
there, I'm in all day. It's there, a form and a buffet. Hey, although, so money be crowned and be a while. We said, you want, wow, I check a what's up, no fetch me one. Never go out, boomer. Yentema ne brim. That's a damn frown, sir. Jimmy Drew. Say, I'm now what it. Be a new bit me at the end of the eye. But drop at the
Hoda me di dawono, heye hodo kai, ururu, biare ni mo, yendo doye mo, imposi biasi ye, epo wase kwa bini wontina woye. Hoda nyojwa kwa indonim sene chia, epo boso chia na sambo, shremi wapenye, na meye, baby ya ubedano.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Baby, yeah. So no runti, never for share with me. So no cancer BMT, no train PG. What you want, brave, and the genius railway. Mama was sweet, baby, and the genius is you. Sorry, paper when him never patari bisha Kekawano to when ye chi na some cry so me no worry for you. What's it would baby era? And then China, she sorry, see, Jom. She won't not say. Sapero, dear, who see that's so mean, some inside. It's on your shame. No, quit, Yeah, freeze me, yes,
Can be bitchy me. If I'm a ripa, baby, the American, me person, me chirese, one another penny. Oh, I am late. I know back, me who know me, I'm a shame. Way, a babeni, Miracle could rock up sunny day. Money, Manosa, your friend, Nanama, Famico, Nami go with your fear. Me better me be some, me say.